Okay, recording is up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right, my friends. So here we go.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live Monday morning, and there's a hurricane coming. I was getting sandbags this morning. I didn't know if I was going to make the live because I got stuck in this line. I got there super early. I even skipped the gym this morning to wait till it opened, and hundreds and thousands of cars getting sandbags because of the potential flooding of the hurricane that's about to hit. And there's like another system here too now. But anyways, enough with my issues. Today we're getting back into the silent observer. All right, so it's not the power of awareness, but it's something very similar to that. But it's more Eckhart Tolle, and I'm gonna give you a brief overview of what we just went through, and then we're gonna continue. And if you did miss the first 3 lessons, they are recorded, so you can go back in the classroom under live recordings, and you'll find it there. But this is Present Moment Awareness course, and it's specifically designed for school, and it's only for school members. And it was specifically created and crafted, and it is only found here, nowhere else. This is not anything pulled from a book. This was handcrafted specifically. All right. So, all right, we went through, the first part was fundamental truth. There is only the eternal now, and false self versus true self, and the egoic mind understanding unconscious behavior. I think we all enjoyed this very well. And also there was a lot of people asking about this PDF. And after I finish the entire course, I'm probably going to make it available as a course in the classroom is what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll make the PDF downloadable or anything like that, but I will cover it as a course. And you also have a course. You can always come back to these lessons and come back to the lessons, and you pretty much have access to the PDFs and me breaking it down. So that's even better. All right. So first thing I want to go over, and this is kind of something that I've been kind of going through recently, but good morning, everyone. I see everyone here. I do see you, SG, Terrence, Deidre, Terrence, SG, Living Revived with K. Cole. All right, you're back. Bark, Sabina, Thermal Chill, Steed, Richard, Pedro. I am a little bit early, huh? I am slightly early, but it's okay. All right, so this is what I'm experiencing now. All conditions and experiences that come to us do so for our benefit. Difficulties and obstacles will continue to come until we absorb their wisdom and gather from them the essentials of further growth. So what is it about a hurricane that I need to absorb the wisdom from that and gather from the essentials of further growth? So that's what I'm analyzing now. Difficulties and harmonies and obstacles indicate that we are either refusing to give out what we no longer need or refusing to accept what we require, which is another thing I have to analyze as well in this. So we all constantly have to be analyzing this with everything that's happening to us because it's all for our good. It's all for our, if we have the right mindset, and that's why I've been so successful, since I've been out of prison, is I've had this mindset that everything that appears to be difficult really isn't. It's just a label I'm putting on it. And it also is leading me to be better at everything in life, to literally be better at everything in life. And especially what that is centralized around, like preparing for a hurricane, putting the shutters up, getting the sandbags, going down there, being very patient, sitting there waiting for the sandbags. I also hired somebody else to wait in line to get me some more sandbags. They're over there right now, but the line's a lot longer now. They're going to have to wait like 5 hours just to get sandbags. But what is this doing? It's creating a new faculty in my own mind to be able to overcome these kinds of obstacles. And it can also help you in business because you have to strategically maneuver, save your house from flooding, the winds. You have to, I have vehicles that, I'm going to be sandbagging the garage, but my trucks don't fit in the garage. So I have to find a place. Actually, I already found one, but I haven't taken them there yet. Is an indoor hurricane-proof shelter where it's kind of like big garages that you rent, but you rent them for the whole month though, and they're air conditioned and everything though, so the trucks will be in good hands. But also, I had a trip that was scheduled to go. I was scheduled to go to New York, Manhattan, today, but I can't because I'm getting all these sandbags, and I still haven't put all the sandbags up. I just got the rest of them this morning. They didn't start giving them out till this morning. And we didn't get all the information until really recently about all this stuff. So if I were to leave today, I would have been unprepared. I only have like 80% of the shutters because all the hardware wasn't there. So I had to order and go find hardware, but I haven't been able to finish that stuff. And it was pouring rain all day yesterday from another system that's coming in. And it's still raining outside right now. And it looks dark in here because my window in my office is boarded. It was not boarded up. It's the hurricane shutters are on there that I put up yesterday. So what is this preparing me for? The next level, the next level. And I kind of look at it that way. I'm not really upset about it. I just think it's designing me to be able to create a different version of myself. That way I can help more people, that I can do more. I can be more strategic. I can be, I can do things better, like all the way around. And I can handle pressure better, because that's one of the biggest things about business people and being a good business person is you have to be able to handle pressure, and what, and the way to handle that or to increase that is what is to be put under pressure. And that's why visualization, creating this version of yourself that has all of these things, has these successful businesses, sometimes it'll bring this kind of stuff into your life. That way you can develop yourself into that version of yourself because you're going to be led to that. Because you shock the positron, you have to go there. You have to go to that event that you had imagined in your mind. So, but there's going to be things like your path has to change. So what's going to change in your path? You're going to have certain things that are going to happen to you to develop you to this new person that you're going to be, because you got to die to your old self. So how are you going to die to your old self? By going through types of experiences that are leveling you up, that are growing. And that's why it's important not to get away from all the tragedy, the traumas in your life, and the difficult things in your life, not to just try to manifest those things away, because then you're manifesting a lesser version of yourself. Because if you see your vision, if you've seen yourself as successful and you felt that and you know what that feels like, and you fell asleep with that, and then the next day you have a hurricane that's coming to hit you, you know that that's a part of it. That's a part of your manifestation. And it's just your perception of whether that's good or bad, and the world and movies and TV series have programmed us with this idea that this is horrible, but really it's developing. I know there are people that do get hurt in the hurricane, and I do feel bad about those things. And I think for me, those things are leveling me up. And I do also believe in the parallel realities and the multiverse as well, and how everything is created from within us. So we're actually creating all of those things. So there's no one really to blame but self in all situations. So you also have to remember that. But as you create a visual scene for yourself, and then certain things happen that you may look at it and be like, oh, this is something bad happening or negative happening, or that's just a label. That's actually happening because you are going to that destination that you saw yourself as. And whatever's coming, you have to learn to overcome those things in order to be that person. And a lot of times that's what shifting states of consciousness is and does for you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, oh yeah, the truck. Yeah, oh my gosh. Got to talk a little bit about that. But I don't want to skip the lessons here. I know there's people that just come for the lessons. But yeah, I got the truck. I test drove the Raptor, and I looked at it. Didn't really like it. It was okay. I like the TRX is better. The TRX is better. I think it's better. I mean, maybe not better, but it's the same. It's the same truck, pretty much. They have nice interiors. The TRX has actually got a better interior, more carbon fiber and everything. But I mean, I think, but the suspension system and everything, how it feels in the ride with the Raptor was a little bit better. But the pickup, acceleration, torque, everything was about the same. They may be able to handle a little bit better, but I think it's generally the same truck, just Ford and Dodge. So I saw an F-250 customized by Harley Davidson. where they take a $100,000 truck, brand new from the dealership, an F-250, and then they take it to Harley Davidson, and then they change everything, the suspension, they put all this aftermarket parts, like $50,000 worth of aftermarket parts on it, and then they sell it. Then they sell it back to Ford, like that, and then Ford sells it. So you're looking at like $150,000 truck, though. It's a lot more than a Raptor, but gosh, look at that. That thing it's all around way better truck. I mean, the feel of it, like even the engine that's in it's got that diesel 6.7 high output and with like 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, you put a tune on that thing, it's got just as much horsepower too as a Raptor R and a TRX, and way more torque. And it's got a better feel to it, and it looks better to me. And it can haul more. It can haul boats. You can pull anything. You can do it. You can go off-roading, anything. My favorite trim is a Ford XLT. Isn't that like the basic version? Yeah, I guess that's still a nice version. Yeah. But it's all about F-250s, I think. The F-250 is such an upgrade from the 150. Such an upgrade. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, so the hurricane's supposed to be hitting, I think, Wednesday. So I do have a generator, and I am using sandbags everywhere around the house. So I should still have power for Wednesday. I'm gonna play it by ear. I don't know. I don't know how long my gas will last. So Friday may be rough, but I'm gonna charge my laptop and have a full charge. That way I could still have a live Friday if necessary. I can do that from battery backup if my generator runs out of gas. But I canceled my trip. That way I could save the house. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. Sorry about that, guys. So you like cars? Yeah, I do. I do. That's my outlet. I don't drink, use drugs, or anything like that. So that's my thing. Cars and trucks. Be still and know that I am God. Now let us go into the silence. Now, where'd you hear that from? Neville Goddard. All right. So not only are we quoting Eckhart Tolle here, we're also quoting Neville Goddard. So at the core of your being, underneath all the noise of the egoic mind, is an aware, silent presence, the silent observer. This is your true essence, not the constant mental chatter that fills most people's minds, as Eckhart Tolle explains. Become aware not only of the emotional pain, but also of the one who observes, the silent watcher. That's who you truly are. This is the power of now, the power of your own conscious presence. And this is where we're getting into this part where when I experienced this, like everything, like this was probably one of the biggest shifts that I ever had with my mind. Like breaking out of my thinking mind of the person that I thought that I had to be, going outside of that and observing myself from outside, I was instantly separated from the thinking mind, the brain. And then I realized that I am not my brain, that I am not my ego, that I don't have to be stuck within that. So this is like part of that. And I'm going to break this down and show you exactly what I mean. The mind wants to consciously judge, analyze, and figure things out. But beneath this restless activity, there is a depth of stillness. When you become aware of this stillness, you step out of unconscious identification with your thoughts. This is where it is right here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When you become aware of this stillness, present moment awareness, you step out of unconscious identification with your thoughts. You become the observing presence, the silent observer. You separate yourself from the thinker, from the person that you've always connected or identified yourself with. You don't have to be that person. That person is not you. As Tolle states, whenever you observe your mind, you are no longer trapped in it. Another factor has come in, something that is not of the mind. The witnessing. Let me read this again. So this is so important. Whenever you observe your mind, whenever you go outside of your mind and you observe it, knowing that it's not you, you are no longer trapped in it. You are no longer trapped in your mind. You are no longer contained. You are no longer limited. Whenever you observe your mind, your thoughts, like in meditation, in the present moment, you are no longer trapped in it because you're no longer identified with it because you're outside of it. Another factor has come in, something that is not of the mind, but the witnessing presence. That's who you are. That's your true self, though. That's your highest self, your higher self, from the inner world. All right, so this witnessing presence has incredible power. It brings space around your thoughts so they no longer define who you are. So right there, you are no longer trapped in it when you are an observer of your thoughts, an observer of your mind. Before you, like if something comes into your mind, you don't just react to it. You observe it at a distance from you, the entire event that happened to you. And as you observe it as it comes in, you're like, wait a minute, I don't have to react this way because I'm no longer identified with my ego that wants to react negatively to this, because the ego has to have conflict in its life and competition and all this stuff, or in order to survive. And it'll even kill its host just to accomplish this. It doesn't care about you at all. The ego does not care whether you live or die. All right. So whenever you observe your mind, you are no longer trapped in it. All right, so here, this witnessing presence has incredible power. Watching the thought, feel the emotion, observe the reaction. Don't make a personal problem out of them. You will then feel something more powerful than any of those things that you observe. The still observing presence itself behind the content of your mind, the silent watcher. 1 second, I'm so sorry. All right. When challenges or negativity arise, instead of being caught up in reactions, you can simply observe. You see that? When challenges, negativity, hurricanes, your car breaks down, unexpected debt comes in, instead of being caught up in reactions, you can simply observe this. This breaks unconscious identification and dissolves the pain body. We will cover that later. And access the power of now, the power to change your reality in the now, because that's the only time you can. But when you constantly are caught up in the reactions of the challenges, negativity, debt, hurricanes, all this stuff, then you keep recreating those same events in your life. You stay in the same reality. But when you are the silent observer and you're outside of your reactions, just observing your ego, observing the thoughts, observing the potential reactions, that's when you separate yourself and become powerful. That's when you find your true self and your true limitless power to change your life, because now you know how to create things. You know how to change things. And now that you have control of your reactions and your moods, and you're observing those moods, and then you're able to change them before you react to them, because you know that the reactions aren't you. The thinking part isn't you. The ego really isn't you. The ego is what wants you to react to it and cause conflict and all these different things within yourself. Now you've observed that, and now you know what to do. You're like, wait a minute, I know the law of assumption. I know feeling states. I know imagination. Now I can make true change. Okay, that's where this all comes into play. And that's why I think Neville Goddard and Eckhart Tolle combined together is probably the ultimate manifestation pack. When they come together, those two, with present moment awareness, with Eckhart Tolle, and everything that Neville Goddard teaches with imagination, using those two together in unison is all you need. That's the only thing this is all you need. You don't need to read anything else. You don't need to know anything else or practice anything else but these two spiritual teachers. All right. So when you sense that space of stillness, you become free of time and the egoic mind. From there, true wisdom, creativity, and purpose can arise. All right, so lesson number 5. We're going to do lesson 4, 5, and 6 today. Good morning, everyone. Snake Dagger just got in. Army run training. Good for you, man. Get it. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Midas Touch, Lonnie, welcome. Juan, Chantel, Page, A, Felice, Hatsu, Santiago, D Purple, Keely, Chantel, Alchemy with Rose. Welcome, 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 everyone. All right, cool. Okay, so lesson number 5. You guys showed up right in time because you missed my rant about my own problems in my life. But they're not really problems. They're actually leading me to my wish fulfilled. They're actually great things happening. I'm actually enjoying the process of it all too. Like honestly, like boarding up the house, putting the hurricane shutters, getting the sandbags, focusing on that, being very active and controlling my emotions through the whole thing has been very fulfilling actually. And because I've been present through the whole thing, I'm kind of enjoying the learning process of it, you know, of putting I've never actually done it before. And I've lived in Florida for a long time. I never actually put the hurricane shutters up, but where I am right now in Florida, it's in a rough area. It's like on an island. So it's very susceptible to high winds and flooding. So I just got to be prepared, you know, just be prepared. Then, because another thing that I found about the connection with the law of assumption and having the right mindset is when you, like, for example, you're studying for the bar exam and you're imagining yourself passing. What does that do to you? What does it do to you? You don't want to know what it does to you. It makes you study more because you see the end, and then now you're more interested and motivated in learning everything. And as you learn everything and you get through every little thing and you know everything there is to know that's going to be on that test, you're so much more confident. Your anxiety levels go down. And when you're taking the test, you walk in and take that test and you're like, I know you're confident because you go in there and you take the test and you know you're going to pass because you know everything. You're not worried. You're in flow state. And then that way you have access to all the information that you have too, because you know that you're prepared. You know that you're prepared. Maybe you won't even have to study that much more, but that's a part of the process, is knowing everything about a subject creates confidence and lowers anxiety, puts you in flow state. And a lot of times visualizations do that. And it will feel effortless. It'll feel like you didn't do anything because you were more interested in it. Jeez. Because you were more interested. This person keeps calling me back over and over. So I apologize for that. Turn that ringer off. All right, lesson number 5. Stepping out of psychological time. It's an illusion. An illusion. Atlanta, Georgia. Yes. Okay, so why does the mind habitually deny or resist the now? Because it cannot function and remain in control without time. Why does the mind habitually deny or resist the now? Because it cannot function and remain in control without time, which is past and future. So it perceives the timeless now as threatening. Time and mind are in fact inseparable. Time and mind are inseparable. Okay, so you do not notice that every thought that comes in is in time. Every thought that comes into your mind is in time, meaning it's either based on the past or the future. It's not the now. So thought does not exist in the now. Thought exists from the past or the future. So wait a minute. So that's actually really important to understand that. Knowing that there is only the eternal now, when you experience the past, it came as a now. And when you experience the future, it will come as the now. All right. So have you ever experienced, done, thought, or felt anything outside the now? Ask yourself that question right now. Have you ever experienced or done, felt, thought of anything or felt anything outside of the now? Do you ever think that you will? Is it possible for anything to happen or be outside of the now? The answer is obviously no. It's impossible. It is not. So meditate on that. Like, meditate on this stuff. You know, when you get some time, usually that's the best way to really absorb information, is when you really just meditate. You read something and then you close your eyes and then you kind of meditate on what you just read and really let it sink deep into yourself. Then the mind might ask, what is the future and the past? What is the mind saying about the future and the past? What do you think of as the past is a memory trace stored in the mind of a former now? What you think of the past, what you think of as the past is a memory trace. It doesn't exist anymore. It's just stored in your mind. It's not real. The past isn't real. So of a former now, it's just a memory trace. So why be reactive or hold on to anything in the past if it's not real anymore? If the only moment that's real is the now, is the present moment, then why hold on to anything that happened yesterday? Unless it's beneficial, you can use it for good or productivity or solutions or answers or creating a better version of yourself. Why keep it alive? Why hold on to something that's just a memory trace in your mind? The answer to that is you shouldn't. You should not. So when you remember the past, you reactivate a memory trace. That's all you're doing. So when you remember the past, like a tragic event, something negative that happened to you, someone treated you really poorly, you know, maybe when you were a child or something, you reactivate that. You're reactivating that, reliving that, creating those images back into your mind. And what does an imagination creates reality? Imagination creates reality. So when you reactivate a memory trace, what does that do? It creates the mental image in your mind again. And what does a mental image do? It creates a feeling state. And what feeling state is associated with that memory image? Probably not a good one. Probably not a good one if it's something based on trauma or something. It's probably not a good memory. So you're creating these feeling states, and how do feeling states correlate with your outside world? Like, what's the next process of that? You have the images, and then the feelings come from the images in your imagination, and then those feelings from the imagination then are impressed into the subconscious mind, and then the subconscious mind is then expresses that, you know, what you consent to being true of that into your world. Like what you're feeling, like your feeling state. If you're feeling that emotional pain, because remember, the subconscious mind is not, it's impersonal, non-selective. It only knows what you're telling it. It doesn't say, oh, well, I feel bad for you, so I'm not going to do this. Or no, I don't want to create that for you because you had a bad week, so I'm not going to. Subconscious mind doesn't think that way. The subconscious just does what you tell it to do. It is impersonal and non-selective, does not have its own creative ideas at all. All it does is it outpictures what your feeling states are, but that originate from your imaginal pictures in your mind. Right? So do not reactivate memory traces of trauma, negativity, things from the past. Instead, what's the opposite of that? You activate future events happening now in the present moment. And what does that do? That creates mental images of you being successful, of this happening to you, this, and this happening to you. These great things are happening to you. All right? And what does that happen? And what happens with those feeling states? That's also impressed into the subconscious mind. Now you're experiencing something different into your life. And the subconscious mind's like, whoa, this is way different. There's a rocket going up. Oh, the whole house is shaking. I sure hope it's a rocket. And they must be doing it right before the hurricane comes. Elon Musk. He's right across the street from me. I can literally, if I walk in my backyard, I see the rockets go up. It's like literally like 5 miles away from me. SpaceX. Anyways, so activating future events in your life is what you need to be focused on. The future, redirecting the mindset to go to the future instead of the past. Because the more that you do one, the more that you will automatically be doing it unconsciously. So if you're constantly in the past, your mind is then designed to always be in the past. And it's going to do that habitually now. It's going to be in the past more than the future. Making it now, like your future dreams, into a present fact. Always, your mindset should always be going forward and not backwards. Always be very positive, thinking about the future, being very motivated, being very appreciative and grateful. That's what creates new images in your imagination to create new things to come into your life. It's from the images in your mind. And all this stuff is so important. Like if you literally just do this stuff, like your whole life will change. If you just change the patterns, and it might take a little bit of time, but once you understand all of this stuff and you start being grateful and appreciative, know the images that are coming in your mind, how you're creating things, what's been creating negative things and bad things in your life, and just deciphering what is what, then you start really applying this stuff, your life's going to be amazing. And I'm experiencing that. So I can tell you firsthand, it's incredible, the changes that can happen to your life. All right. So what do you think of the past? Okay. What you think of as the past is a memory trace stored in the mind of a former now. When you remember the past, you reactivate a memory trace. So these are two of the same exact paragraphs here, and I apologize for that. All right. So maybe that was maybe it was meant to be that way. No coincidences. That was very important to understand that. All right. So the Bible says, nobody who puts his hands to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. Did you get that? Did you just get that? The Bible says, nobody who puts his hands to the plow and looks back, symbolic nature of looking into the past, looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. All right? It also says, take no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. So don't worry about anything. Stop worrying about it. Let it all work out on its own. Just see your vision. See your vision. All right, so realize then that the egoic mind's grasp over you depends solely on time. Good. I'm glad you're extremely grateful for your dog. I don't have a dog. I've had dogs. I trained dogs when I was in prison, the Cuffs Collars program. And I am going to get one, but I'm just so busy right now. And if I get a dog, I want to be able to take care of him. I want to be able to train him. I want to be able to spend time with him and take him places and walk him every day. So I love dogs, but I don't have one yet, but it's coming. All right. So you must be prepared before you do things. And I see I don't mean to get off topic again, but I see this stuff a lot. I see people that have dogs and they love the idea of having a dog. I mean, dogs are cool, but they get the dog and they don't walk them. They don't take care of them. They don't train them. They don't spend time with them. And the dog's just suffering, or the dog, I just feel, it's like, if you're going to do something, do it right. And if you're not ready to do it, then don't do it. But just know the difference. Know when you're ready. That way you can do it right, especially with an animal like that, Anyways, okay, so realize then the egoic mind's grasp over you depends solely on time. Observe your mind. Notice how every thought, that is not silence, is a memory trace of the past or projection of the mind into the future. That takes place right now. So observe your mind. Notice how every thought, all right, is a memory trace of the past or projection of the mind into the future. That takes place right now. All right. So ask yourself, when is this thought taking place? When you're thinking of the past and you're thinking of the future, when is the thought actually taking place, though? Right now. And that's the only moment that's real. So you're making it real simply by thinking about it. You're making it real right now. Or what time is this thought taking place in? This should be enough to dissolve that thought, because the answer is everything but the now. All right? Everything but the now. So lesson number 6, pain body. Pain body. The pain body is the accumulation of old emotional pain that seeks more pain. I had dogs for 40 years. The pain body is the accumulation of old emotional pain that seeks more pain. It is an energy field that occupies your body and mind with negative emotions like fear, resentment, and hatred. Those are very low frequencies. You need self-actualization, love, gratitude, appreciation. And the frequencies are real. Just like Tesla said, you want to think in terms of, energy, frequency, and what else is it? There's something else. Frequency and energy. I forget. As Eckhart Tolle states, the pain body is a semi-autonomous psychic entity that lives within most human beings. It is formed out of an accumulated painful life experiences that were not fully faced and accepted at the time of occurrence. This is really important. This is really important right here. Remember this. The pain body is a psychic entity that lives within most human beings. It is formed and created out of accumulated painful life experiences from the past that were not fully faced and accepted at the time of occurrence. Think about that. The pain body feeds on your unpleasant life experiences and becomes stronger through each painful incident you go through. It can take you over when triggered and project more pain onto your present situation. The pain body wants you to identify with it and feed it. Remember that. The pain body, it wants you to identify with the pain. It wants you to be hurt. The ego does not care whether you live or die. That's what keeps it alive. The more of this chaos it can create, and conflict and competition, all this stuff. The pain body wants you to identify with it and feed it. It needs you to unconsciously resonate with it. The pain body awakens from its dormant state when it gets hungry, when it is time to replenish itself. Alternatively, it may get triggered by some event at any time. These are also called triggers. The only way to free yourself from being run by the pain body is through conscious presence and awareness. The leaf exercise, the reverse course, meditation, knowing you're living in a simulation. That's exactly how to do this. The only way to free yourself from being run by the ego or the pain body is through conscious presence and present moment awareness. Living in the now and being conscious of what's happening within you. Because remember, your mind, there's nothing contained outside of your own mind. As Tolle explains here, the moment you're thinking is aligned with the energy field of your pain body, you are identified with it, and again, feeding it with your thoughts. For example, if anger is the predominant energy of vibration of the pain body, and you think angry thoughts, dwelling on what someone did to you, or what you are going to do to him or her, then you have become unconscious, and the pain body has become you. Wow, I just got something. When you're not present, what are you? You're a sleepwalker, right? Because if you're stuck in the past or the future, mostly the past, what are you? You're unconscious because you're not in the now. When you're living present in the now, free from conflict of the mind, being grateful and appreciative of the present moment, the ego, the pain body cannot have any control over you. It can't, it is not you when you're present, okay? But when you have become unconscious through instant gratification, alcohol use, drug addiction, poor diet, TikTok shorts, all this entertainment, even movies and TV series for endless hours watching that stuff makes you unconscious. That stuff puts you to sleep. And what happens when you're asleep? The pain body has become you. You no longer have control of your actions because now you've identified with the pain body unconsciously. You've identified with, so you think it's you. So then you start protecting yourself. That's when you meet people and they're just not, good people. And you get to see that and you tell them, listen, that's just horrible. You're just like not a good person. Why are you doing this? It's because they're unconscious and they've identified themselves with the pain body. And that's why they're doing those things, because they're not a real person. They're not present. They're not in the now. They're not real people. They're asleep. And they've been taken over by the pain body. The ego has control of them because they've identified it through unconsciousness. Through unconsciousness. But when you become conscious and aware, you're no longer being controlled by anything. Now you are awake within the dream. And now you're like, wait a minute, I don't have to do this. I don't have to think this way. I don't have to feel this way. I don't have to allow these things to keep coming up. I don't have to keep bringing my past traumas back up. I want to have a vision of the future. I want to create this. I want to manifest this. I want to have this. I want to, do all of these. I want to, have a family. I want to have friends. I want to travel the world. I want to buy a supercar. I want to buy a beautiful house. I want to be healthy. I want to have a good physique. That's when you're conscious, you can make all those decisions and do them without being controlled by anything outside influence. And that's when the decision becomes very simple, because you now have control of your moods, your feeling states, your actions, because that's what controls you. See, the pain body and the ego, once you become unconscious, you cannot say no to your favorite food that's not good for you, or sleeping in till 10 a.m. and when you could be getting all this other stuff done, or procrastination, drinking too much, using drugs. That's not who you are. It's the only reason you do that stuff, or anyone does that stuff, is because they're unconscious. Because if you're conscious, you're not going to be doing any of those things. Why would you? Because you're grateful and present, and you are in a self-actualization mindset. You don't need anything outside of yourself in the present moment. The present moment itself is liberating. That's what creates who you are. That when you're truly present, you don't need anything else. You don't need anything else outside of you, because you realize that this having that present moment and being aware in the present moment, slowing time down, is the most precious, priceless, moment, thing that you could manifest. And when you can have that for most part of the day, that's when you found true enlightenment. And then you could still manifest things you want, but you no longer need anything. Because you have the present moment. You could still manifest these great things in your life, but you just want them. You don't need them, because the only thing you really need is the present moment to be conscious, because the pain body cannot become you and not identify with you if you are conscious and awake. I love that. All right, so that was all the lessons we're going to cover today. But I wanted to hit on one other spot here that I kind of skipped over. Do you notice every thought comes in as time meaning? I skipped over this part, I think. Okay, so this is stepping out of the psychological time. It's because time is only psychological. So why does the mind habitually deny or resist the now? Because it cannot function and remain in control without time. But time doesn't exist the way you think. Everything is right now in the present moment. You're just slowly passing through the fourth dimension in the 3 dimensions of space. But like I said, why does the mind habitually deny or resist the now? Because it cannot function and remain in control without time, which is past and future. So it perceives the timeless now as threatening. So it doesn't want you to live. The ego doesn't want you to be present. And a lot of times that's why, and I wanted to bring this up, is because when you start doing the work and becoming more present, sometimes the mind will be fighting you more. Like when you try to sit down, just sit in one spot for 15 minutes, no music, no sound, no nothing, and you just sit there and you don't move for 30 minutes. Like we did that in the Zoom mastermind. You just sit there. You don't do anything. You cannot move. You don't move your hands, your feet, nothing for 30 minutes. And listen, the ego does not like that. The mind has to live, can't live in the now. And it's dying when it feels that it's in the now. It wants you to be in the past. It wants you to be in the future. All right? So remember that. So the mind perceives the timeless now as threatening. Time and mind are in fact inseparable. So what does that mean? Time and mind are in fact inseparable. So when you have created a mindset, when your mindset is timeless, they're still inseparable. All right, let's do some Q&A. We'll do some Q&A on these lessons here.
It got me thinking. Nice to see you here, Rohan. Nice to see you here. And okay, I have some questions for you or for us to discuss. But before I do that, somebody wants to share something. Who's missing? Oh, Sean left. All right. Somebody wants to share something, Krista?
This being in the now was very difficult for me, and the more often I listen to what it is about, the more I understand it. I think this is very, very important that you are just in the now.
Yes, actually, it's funny, but I left the beginning of the conversation, well, the live, where David was talking about the hurricane and his strokes and everything, because in between he was sending some goodies, some good stuff, and some of those things got me thinking about you, Krista, about what we've been talking about and everything. And even though the hurricane it's coming, and not because I'm trying to say, oh my God, you have problems, and I'm not judging you. It just I thought you could find some guidance in those words. So that's why I thought about you, my friend.
Okay.
And glad it happened. Ify.
Yeah. This lesson I found it really deep, actually, because living in the now, I don't know, I find it very difficult because as humans, as me, we always try to figure out the past. Like, why did this happen? We try to, like I have, and my background is in engineering, so I kind of have an analytical brain. And I try to always figure things out, like, why is this happening? What does this mean? You know, even if I have a little dream, I have to find out what that little dream means. I try to figure out everything instead of just living in the present, living in the now. And I guess, you know, it's something that I struggle with, and I need to learn how to do that. But another thing he said in the beginning that I really liked when he said, for example, the hurricane, that when something negative, when you're like visualizing or you're doing sats, and then the next day something bad happens, you shouldn't see that, because we've been programmed to see that as something negative. But we should see that as it's getting us one step further to our wish fulfilled. So, for example, it's kind of like improving our self-concept. And I know for, you know, I've been on different, or I've listened to other channels where, you know, they do like SP challenges or job challenges. And for me, when I'm like either looking for a particular career change, or with a particular SP and things are getting difficult, it's sometimes I do realize and I do see that when all these negative things or these blockages are happening to me, it's to improve my self-concept. Because, you know, we can want to be, so for example, let's say, for example, I want to be in a relationship with, okay, there's no Prince single, but let's say Prince Harry was single, and I wanted to be in a relationship with Prince Harry. Do you understand? You know, am I at that self-concept, you know, where, you know, I could be a partner to Prince Harry? Do you understand? Do I have the confidence to stand in front of a whole audience, to stand in front of different princesses, the king? So it was really nice for me to understand that when negative things or blockages are happening, when you visualize, it's just like sharpening you, training you for that self-concept to get you to your wish fulfilled. And I think that's the thing that I need to accept and understand fully.
Thank you, Ify. Thank you so much for sharing that. And regarding the princess and prince and everything, the king, being able to put in front of them, and also you needed to have the mind. I'm gonna make a joke right here. To place yourself in front of reptilians.
Yeah. You know,
Good joke.
But well, anyway, but yeah, yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. It's not about, oh yeah, I just want to do this, and you can dream about it. You know, you can dream and wish and that. But if you are really serious, you need to connect with that part, to that version of you who is actually doing that. But you can still dream about that version, or you can start acting right now as that version, maybe in little steps, because every single thing that we have done or we are doing now, we've done it at first a little bit clumsy. For example, Rohan, I'm pretty sure when you started doing some soccer, um, well, you weren't as good as you are getting now, because you know you have to learn how to move. You have to need to commit mistakes, and you have to kick some faces. And I'm just kidding, you know. But every single time we need to get better. So that was good. That was actually good, Ify. Thank you. All right, somebody
thank
else.
you.
Somebody
Well,
else
I
wants
would
to.
like to mention that you cannot think away a hurricane that is coming. So David does not say, oh, it doesn't exist. He goes to prepare himself, right? So it's not that you think away certain things. You prepare yourself.
Yeah,
he was in prison and he stands to it. And he got lawyers who helped him to get out. And then he did a therapy. So there are certain things you just can't think away and they don't exist. You cannot say it does not exist, right? So still, when you think about the now, everything happens in the now, but it's still difficult to stay in the now, not think back, not think into the future.
It is. It is indeed hard, and sometimes I don't think it's just ignore the hurricane. Obviously, it's important for you to have tools, but sometimes when the hurricane hits, it lets you. It shows you. It shows you who you are. Um, some months back, I was on this C-suite conversation with Jacob and David, and I told them, "Oh, I'm having these things going on and this and that." And I don't remember if it was Jacob or it was David, but they say this to me. Um, that thing that is happening to you is showing you who you are. And I was like, okay, that made me think because yeah, the way that I'm reacting to that situation, a special situation, is showing me. So if the hurricane comes and then it hits and everything, and I'm oh my God, we're gonna die. Well, it's showing me what type of person I am. So yeah, that's something to have in mind. Just we can't ignore the things that are happening with us, in um, here and there, but we can choose how to react to them. That I think that's the point. I think Tilda wants to say something.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that this video comes because I was actually in the I don't know if y'all seen my questions. I was actually in it, actually aligns with what I was asking. And first I want to address, you cannot stay present 24/7. I asked another mentor, it's like, no, you can't do that. I think getting into the present just practice you to become stronger. The more you do it, it builds you. And as for facing, like you said, like facing a hurricane, you're either gonna run and are you and panic, or you gonna get prepared and not panic. I think David was trying to say I'm getting prepared and not panicking. And I just posted something like that. It really hit me. A verse, and I'm not biblical all the way, where a demon, it kind of caught my eye. It's like a demon said, and you I don't know, but I know Jesus and Paul. And I'm like, why would a demon know Jesus? Well, to know means that Jesus had authority to tell that demon and evil spirit. So when things come your way that is that hard, Jesus saying, I can stand up against you. I'm not afraid of you because I know who I am. I am the I am. So that is amazing that fit in there. And even when Eckhart Tolle says the pain body is triggered and it is something that you haven't faced. I see a hurricane, I'm running. You ain't faced it. You have to just know that you are powerful enough to go through that storm. That pain wants to be identified. Who are you? You the pain, and I got the authority. Or it will run over you, and it will keep showing up. That was just amazing because I was just thinking about hurricanes, and this was actually answered because I kept asking, "Who are we giving consent to?" I kept saying, "What does that mean? What does that mean?" Sometimes you give consent to the outcome, or you give consent to who you are, the new person. So this was just perfect. And I was there for this presentation. So this was right on time.
Yes, yes. You had to be here, and Yeah, obviously it, well, not obviously. We had to acknowledge how strong we are, as Terence was saying in the last live that we have. Um, Nobody is handle anything that, well, nobody's giving something that person can handle. So anything that we are having right now, we can handle them. And obviously, if we can think about a better outcome, it's because it's already done. So yeah, it doesn't matter what's going on right now in our lives. It's teaching us something, but at the end, we know everything's gonna be okay. When sometimes doubt, when I feel doubt, when I'm fearful, I sometimes do this exercise. I close my eyes and I start imagining myself on a boat, like a nice boat, not like a private jet, but a nice boat, and I'm just looking at the Mediterranean Sea. I'm looking at that. I'm reading some novel about Julius Caesar or Scipion Africanus or some romance, and I'm thinking to myself in that imaginative moment, oh my God, Julius Caesar was looking at this beautiful sea and all those crazy and good romance and because many things were happening in those days, like right now. So when I'm thinking about that moment, me being in that moment, the pressure, the fear, the anxiety or the worry that I'm having in this part of my life, it doesn't matter because I know that's coming. So we have to be ready. We have to be ready. All right, my friends. Um, you want me to jump to the questions?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right. So I divide the questions in three sections, two for each section. So let's see what we have here. The first one is regarding the ego versus the observer. So David talks about the ego being like a parasite that thrives on conflict and labels. When you face a sudden challenge, like an unexpected debt or a business setback, do you realize that you are the one giving it a negative label? Can you share a moment where you step back as the silent observer and realize the problem wasn't actually you? So basically, what we were talking right now. So who wants to share something, some moment? Well, I already shared mine. Who else wants to share? When things are happening to you, do you remember one moment when you stood back and then you were the silent observer? But chill out, guys. Chill out. Just one by one, please. One by one.
What do you mean you were the silent observer?
Yeah. Well, the silent observer is when you take the time and you stand still, you just be yourself, and you have all this hurricane coming to you. But you're realizing that whatever thing is happening to you right now, as David was saying, it's happening because of you. So if you stop and be quiet, quiet your mind, and just observe what's going on in your life, it doesn't matter if the world is falling in front of you and everything, but that was created because of you. If you take the moment, if you are the silent observer, you can find the knowledge. So um, that's what I'm understanding about the silent observer.
Hmm. Well, I guess if I go first, I would say so ending of last year actually, around probably September, I went on holiday. And so I know I was working for a bank, an investment bank. I had a position there. And I went on holiday 2 weeks and I came back. And before that, during the summer, I've just been visualizing, the life that I want, doing my own thing, completely a different career to what I was doing at the moment. So I go on holiday and I come back and my manager's like, "Oh my God, Ify, you've set yourself up in a position where no one can do what you can do. So, you're going to be in the company for quite a long time." I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." So a couple of weeks after that, I get called into a room and I was made redundant. They not only made me redundant, they also made that manager redundant. And it completely came as a shock. Not because I saw it at that moment as getting me to my wish fulfilled. When that happens to you, you're in a place like, oh my God, my manager just told me I'm going to be here forever. But I've been visualizing, the perfect life that I want, completely different from a corporate world. And I was just let go. And yeah, this of yes, it's not as bad as a hurricane, it's not life threatening. But when you've been told that, you're good at your job, you're going to be here forever if that's what you want, and that is just thrown at you. And when I was they made quite a few people because it happens in investment banking. Sometimes they just get rid of a lot of people. And then people were just crying. But in that moment when people were crying, I just realized this is actually a step to my manifestation because it's something that I did not see coming. Do you understand? So that's how I saw it. It's not as bad as a hurricane, but it's something that shocked my system that I had to view it like, yeah, it's getting me one step further to my wish fulfilled. So I guess that's me.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
I say to in one course I have made in German, when you lost your job, this gives you the opportunity to get a better job. You're not stuck in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not only that, it's before because I was going through a lot. My mom's quite ill. I've just finished a master's. I was taking exams. My body was actually really tired. Do you understand that I see it as a blessing in disguise that it was just like you're not when I grew up in a spiritual church, and we believe also in our guides and our spirits and our angels helping us. And I just believe it was my angels, my guides helping me. Like, I have to push you out. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to do what you are meant to do. Not just be in a corporate world and just going, with the flow, like sheep, like what everyone just does. It's time to do different. And I think you know, as Neville Goddard says, it takes someone to fire you to get you into a better job or a better position. And I just think it was just another step forward, getting me to my wish fulfilled. So yeah.
It truly was.
Mm.
It truly was. Thank you, Ify. All right, let's move to the next question. So this one is titled Breaking the Identification. He says that whenever you observe your mind, you're no longer trapped in it. For those of you trying to manifest a new reality, if you're watching your thoughts from the outside, who is the one doing the watching, and how does that watcher have more power than the thought itself? It's a good one. That's a good one. Who wants to answer? You want me to read the question again?
Yes, please.
If you are watching your thoughts from the outside, who is the one doing the watching? And how does that watcher have more power than the thought itself? So who's doing the watching when you are trying to manifest something? Who's doing the watching?
So it's, you say, watching from the outside.
Yeah, when you're um
So that's actually the problem. You should watch from the inside. You should watch your thoughts.
yeah, the one that it's watching, it's actually, well, you, the essence of yourself. That's the one that it's watching, the one that really knows, removing all this noise and things that are happening. So when you remove that, there's your spiritual being, because we have this identity. You, Jorge, identify yourself as Jorge. Terence identify himself as Terence, Rohan, Ify, Krista, myself, Tilda, Sean, and every one of us, we identify ourselves as this person. But in the essence, we are not this person. We are the same. We are gods. But we are just manifesting ourselves in many different structures. So, but at the end, we are the same consciousness. What do you guys think about that? Okay, let's move to. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I just wanted to say that, recently, like, I started to just make the decision to be like, you know what? Whether this happens or not, in terms of like what I'm desiring, I'm just gonna see if I could be happy no matter what. Like David was mentioning that in a few of his videos, like you need to like be in charge of your happiness. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stick to it. And I remember at the time I made that decision, I was feeling awful. I was feeling terrible. I was feeling just so overwhelmed. And I'm like, you know what? I can't continue that cycle. And it's a lot of people don't notice it, but they might say, oh, I feel this way, feel that way, and I don't like it. But they don't realize that they're feeding it. They don't realize they're like stuck in that loop because it's familiar. It's like safe, familiar territory. And I was like, dude, I can't take this anymore. And ever since I made that decision, I felt more calmer, more collected. I feel like I can take a breath and be like, so I feel a lot better in that regard. And I think that's very important because that's the way you become the silent observer, is by you just saying, look, I want this, that's fine. That's great. But you gotta be responsible for yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. You have to put in the effort in for yourself, because if you really want to shift out of the version of you that doesn't have what you want, then you have to start with yourself. That kind of goes into self-concept for a bit, but it's true. And because if we're always reacting, getting caught up, and it doesn't mean you don't feel anything, but you just kind of get, oh my God, this happened, that happened, and oh, what could happen next? Or all this thing that happened in the past, it's like just take a step back. Like, look, it's fine, but be like, it's only temporary. It's not permanent. You're not that. Yeah, I feel this way, but I don't have to be that. Like, people forget, like, you don't think, like, I don't know, maybe Elon Musk, for example, has a bad day, or there's sometimes where he feels like, he did something and he messed up, or things didn't go his way. No, of course not. There's gonna be moments where you could have everything you want and still things are gonna happen that you don't like. That's just how life is. And I think that honestly, it is important for us to be the silent observer and to just be like, okay, because I'm guilty of that. I react a lot, I'm just being honest with myself and with you guys. And that might be a big reason as to why I've been struggling, and at least in some areas, some more than others. But that's fine. Like, it's better to at least be honest about it and acknowledge it than to just live in denial forever. So, best thing you can do is to just relax, take a breath, and be like, okay, this is happening. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't understand. My conscious mind, can't figure out a good reason why it's happening or how it might help me in the moment. That's fine. That's okay. But don't let it like get to you. Don't let it tell you who you are. So that's what I think. That's like my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think, George, that's an amazing way to be. I wish I could be like that, because there are some people I've seen who are naturally like that. They just are always at peace, always happy. They don't let anything bother them. And I admire people like that who could do that. I think in one of Joseph Murphy's books, he said he was in somewhere in Hawaii and he met a guy who, loved the alcohol, loved women, but he was in his 90s. And then Joseph Murphy asked him, what is the secret? And he said, inner peace. He has no pet peeves or no disagreement with anyone. He just loves peace. And I truly admire people who can do that. I wish I could do that. Just don't let nothing bother me. So yeah, that's good.
There's a book about that. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F is really good. It's about a man who did the same thing. He did bad things. He was like, but I don't care. I don't care. And he was at peace with it. It's a bad word, but that's the name of the book if you kind of want to learn how just not to care.
Yeah. And just be
What's the
happy all the
name?
time. There's some people who can do that.
What was the name of the book?
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice book. Yeah, I read it. That's a nice book.
That man
And
didn't care about nothing. I'm like, golly, how's he doing that?
yeah, the I think the key right here, because I find myself most of the time not overreacting to certain kind of stuff, but I don't think there's nobody out there that okay, at the end we're humans, at the end we're humans, and sometimes we have bad days, sometimes we have good days. But what I wanted to actually share is that I think everything resumes in not taking everything personal. Oh yeah, I was doing this and that person did that to me, or this thing happened to me, for me, oh my God, why is this thing happening? Why they did this to me? It's like, to you? Nobody's doing anything to you, because people are doing stuff for them. I'm doing this for myself. Yeah, I like to share this with you, my friends. I really enjoy it. But at the end, I'm doing it for myself. At the end, you're joining here for yourself. So I don't think um, people outside are doing stuff. I think sometimes we misinterpret um, the actions of other people, and then we are sometimes really egoic to say, oh yeah, that they did that to me, but that person did it because they're stupid, or maybe because they don't know better. But I think that's kind of the key, and that's something that actually they talk about in the book that Tilda said, that not to take things so personal. Well, anyway, let's go to the next. Number 3 is titled Reactivating the Memory Trace. Is my mic on? Yeah, it's on. The past is just a memory trace, yet we treat it like it's happening right now. If you're constantly looking back at old failures, aren't you just reactivating the very thing you're trying to escape? How can we apply Neville's idea of dying to the old self if we keep feeding these memory traces? How? How can we do this, my friends? How? Who wants to tell us how to do it?
Meditation helps.
There you go.
Meditation.
It
What
does.
else? What else? Terrence, you're awfully quiet, mate.
Burpees. Do your burpees. Burpees.
Burpees. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Cold showers.
No.
Why not?
I hate freezing water.
Well, that makes it tougher.
Yeah, you're right about that. Changes
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I don't like cold showers, but I do it anyway, because when I'm doing it, especially in the morning, especially on December, I'm saying to myself, my competition are all cozy in their beds and everything. They're sleeping tight, and I'm right here doing this cold shower like a
Yeah.
Roman general.
Cold shower triumph.
There you go. You gotta be careful with cold showers in the morning, because vascular, we can have a vascular problem. But yeah, Jorge.
Well, yeah, I was gonna mention real quick. That's the thing too. Like, well, I got this from a person that I would, rather not even remember all. But I think this was true. He mentioned to me that according to like ancient Chinese health knowledge, cold showers can depends on when, but like if you like do them a little bit too much, or like especially like after like a hot day or something like that, it can actually like create a shock in your muscles or something. Or I can't remember like the details, like how to word it, but like it can like lead to where your muscles might start spasming, especially when you start to get
Mhm.
older.
As athletes, they told us that you got to kind of warm it down. You got to go from, if you're doing a hot, you got to kind of take it. You can get to cold, but you got to set your body in increments, the shower in increments.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have an athlete in our midst. Rohan, what do you say about cold showers?
I was big into researching it a while ago. Honestly, there was some nuance with it. I'd be lying if I tell you I remembered everything. I mean, there was definitely a nuance to it where if you by cold shower, and I know Sean just put it as a comment too, like going in the beach, that's what I used to do, like early in the morning, even in the winter. So that's like the natural temperature of the water. That would be my degree of cold, but I wouldn't purposefully take a cold shower. Yeah, I don't know. I did research a lot about it, but yeah, I'm not. My knowledge is not best of it as of today.
Well, it was a good share.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So next time you will try it, Ron, you will try what it does to you.
Yeah, it's more for me. It's like a feel thing. Definitely, when I'd be training in India and like it'd be 40 degrees, right? Or I try to sneak off in the morning, so then it'd be around 30, 38. I can't get anything but a cold shower. Like if I take a hot shower after my session, I don't know, I go mad.
Okay.
That's something interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, and when I used to practice yoga, we used to do these, yoga movements and everything for an hour. And then they ask us to run to the shower. And I don't want to go to details, but, you know, all the men's were in one bathroom, all the females in other bathroom. And they didn't have all the, like many showers, but there was this space where you have, the shower, but you have to pull a lever, and then when you pull it, the shower came. It wasn't like you open it. It was like, oh, you yank to it, and then you kill yourself, you suicide to that. And but after that, we had a meditation, and I don't know that. I think that's something that people in yoga do. I don't know why, but they do it anyway. Let's do the other one. Number 4, the kingdom and the plow. The script mentions that looking back makes you fit for the kingdom in your personal journey. What is that one specific past event you're still holding on to that is preventing you for fully enter the state of your wish fulfilled today? Oh my God, guys, this is a bomb. Because ask yourself, what is this event that you keep on repeating, maybe consciously or unconsciously in your mind, the back end of your mind, that is preventing you for fully entering the state of your wish fulfilled today? Because it might be something. Because if we are not living the life that we supposed to be living, it's because there's something going on right there. So who wants to share?
When you say something going on right there, I guess, does David, or do you mean like your self-concept? Because I guess in most of David's videos, he keeps on saying if you're not where you want to be, it's because your self-concept, or you are, building your self-concept to get where you want to be. So I guess with me, I would say what's holding me back is my self-concept. And I guess Neville describes self-concept as everything you consent and believe to be true about yourself. So, for example, with the Prince Harry situation, or even a job, we are all trying to manifest a better life. And I guess what's holding us back is our self-concept, because we do get our self-concepts, like our beliefs, from our parents. And, most of our parents here was probably born in the 50s or the 40s or 60s, and that period, that time is totally different from now, 2026. Or life was much harder then. Do you understand? Most countries, I know there's issues going on in the Middle East, but we had the World War II, we had trouble in Africa, we had trouble in India, we had trouble in the Middle East. So most countries, or most of our parents, still had that trauma. And even if they didn't know, unconsciously, they must have passed that trauma. Because I think I've even watched in a video where a mother passes the trauma to her baby in her womb through her DNA. So they unconsciously pass that trauma to us, which shaped our self-concept. So I guess for me, it would be I'm building my self-concept to get me to my wish fulfilled.
Thank you. Ify.
Was it's not necessarily you're building, you're aligning to your new concept, which is
Yeah.
why a plow is mentioned. A plow is supposed to usually go straight. And when you give authority, the kingdom of authority, you just gave whatever is in your past authority, and now you're looking whatever it has more of a grip hold behind you than what is in front of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Your concept is already built. It's because if you're plowing, you're going forward. So that means it's already there. Your destination is there. You just have to align. And when you look back, you're not going to probably keep going straight. No matter how much you think, you probably won't be going straight.
But don't you change your beliefs though? Because isn't your self-concept what you believe and consent to be true about
That's
yourself?
what I kept asking you guys. So, yes, but guess what? You're unconscious to what you are believing. You don't even you don't even know. You know, you don't even know it's happening.
Yeah. Real quick, it's kind of like how Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will run your life and you will call it fate. So
Well said. And I want to say to the I don't know who is that, Ify?
Yeah,
What's your
yeah.
name?
Iffy.
Iffy, about meeting Prince Harry. Look,
No, I
look,
don't want to meet
watch,
him. He's
look,
he's married.
Watch what you ask for. Well, you can always get
No,
still
I
watch
don't
what
want
you
Prince
ask.
Harry. I love Meghan. I don't want Prince Harry. I'm just
But
using him as an example.
We know what you mean, but still watch what you ask for. One time I put a vision board up and I was like, I want to meet him, him, and him. Oh my gosh. The days I met these celebrities, I was at my worst. The wish came true because I asked for it. And I was in my DoorDash, my wig wasn't straight. And he was like, hey, she cute. I want to take a picture with her. I say, I guess I asked for it.
No, I'm just using Prince Harry as an example. I don't like him in that way. It's just an example. But I do love the story between Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. I think it's a beautiful story. So that's why I use that as an example.
Get your own Prince Harry. There are many other men who qualify and fit that.
Absolutely. Or Mr.
Yeah.
Darcy, so yeah. So
Let
thank
me
you.
crack in with your wig. The wig wasn't in its place.
My wig was not straight. We were in front of many people. It was Tillman for TDA. I didn't want to meet Tillman for TDA, the billionaire, like I like him, like she said. It was just my vision. This a rich guy. We're at a book signing. I'm like, okay. And out the crowd, he say, she's cute. I want to take a picture with her. I say, man, I ain't about to do that in front of these people. I took a picture with him. So you gotta watch what you ask for. Watch what's on your vision board, because most likely it will come. When you're not ready, it will show up.
It will. When you let it go. When you let it go. All right. Nice. And yeah, precisely. Sometimes we get stuck on things that we don't even know. And that's why I think, for example, not only doing this, but actually going maybe to therapy with a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something, or hypnosis like Krista. I was talking to Krista the other day, and we were talking about therapies and things like that. And she told me about hypnosis. So I will recommend you guys to not only do this, but try to go a little bit deeper, because sometimes there are things, maybe it's not like a huge trauma that happened to you, but maybe you were a little boy, a little girl, and mama or papa didn't wanted to buy a lollipop, and in that precise moment you felt really really bad, really on that you weren't deserving of that, and that decision stick to you till this day, but you don't know it, and it's a little bitty small thing, but it's giving you this feeling of not worthiness or whatever you're feeling. Krista. You want to say something?
No.
Okay.
No.
I put you on the spot, right?
No, I'm still thinking about the memory traces.
Oh yeah.
When my mother died, no, I want to say like this. Before my mother died, a couple of years before, I got into my new life. I live in the house in which I wanted to live, exactly where I wanted to live. And now, since the younger son of my brother, who is going against me, at one hand, this is happening now, but at the other hand, he awakes those memory traces, because I'm thinking back about my life 30 years ago, and so it's strange, and it made me think about staying in the now and what I do with these memory traces. Since I'm back from Austria, I sleep like all the time, the whole night through, most of the day. And this is now the third or fourth day. And today I should have made a few telephone calls, and I went to bed and I slept 2 hours, and I said to myself, oh God, now I have to wait till Monday to make those phone calls. But I'm calm. I said to myself, so what? But yes, I'm calm, and I say to myself, yeah. And what went on while I slept, when I woke up, what I remembered, it was not thinking about the past, but about the now and the future. This is actually, what do you think, to all of you, about not thinking about the future? Don't think of the past, don't think of the future, live in the now. I think about the future.
Thank you, Krista. Thank you so much for sharing this. I think this explained to us many things that we are having. Every conversation that we're engaging, it's showing us new routes. Thank you. Let's move to the last two questions, my dear friends. Okay, starving the pain body. The pain body gets hungry and looks for drama to replenish itself. We have all felt that urge, don't we? To get angry or stay sad just because it feels familiar. When that hunger pain, well, that hunger for pain kicks in, what is your strategy to stay conscious so you don't let the pain body takes over your day? That's another bomb, because let me say something real quick regarding the pain body. There's not only the pain body. Yeah, you feel the urge, or maybe every Saturday at 2 o'clock you were used to getting mad at someone, and then 20 years later you're still doing the same thing, but you don't even remember because back in those days you were in that job, and in that job there was this client that used to come to you, and you were like just waiting for the fight. I'm giving an example. Something that trying to add more information to the pain body, something that Joy Dispenza says, and you can find articles talking about this, is that when you repeat an action, it throws some chemicals to your brain. So if you're used to if you're used to being the victim, playing as the victim, if you're used to being like, oh my God, poor me, or you're used to fight or get angry at somebody, then you are releasing chemicals. Maybe you don't want to do it anymore, but then your body, your brain became addicted to those chemicals. So that's why sometimes the pain body comes, because it's releasing. It's like a drug. It's like an addiction. It's just like that. Like sugar addiction, like cocaine addiction. The addict needs to take the drug once and once, and well, again and again and again, not because they want that high, just because the body is asking for it. So
Yeah, there is pain. For example, when you work out, you are in pain, but it's a positive pain. It feels good. And then there is the pain which comes from memory traces, which is bad.
yes, yes. So are you guys doing something? Are you realizing that you have this? Sean, I'm pretty sure you want to say something.
Hi. Yes. Sorry, I missed an hour of it, but I had a previous engagement. But I realized, like, with the pain body, if you pause and breathe through it, you change that reaction. And if you continue to do that each time, like, that, you're training your brain again. So, once a month I get like really irritated and frustrated. And so I know that that's going to happen, and I start to feel it. And I realize that, like, if I just pause and breathe through it, that I understand that, like, that's not really me. It's just what my body's conditioned to feel during that time.
Wonderful example to breathe out, to be conscious of what's coming, because you feel it. You feel it. You know it's coming. Maybe you're not conscious, but maybe this call it's gonna make you conscious. Maybe you don't have any pain body going on. Maybe you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. But as long as you are conscious that it might be something, and maybe you can find the roots or the starting point, then you can change it. That's a good one. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Maybe burpees. Do burpees or change it. You don't quit an addiction. You just replace it. You replace it with something better. When I think I told you I was on a medical facility, clinical facility, long time ago, because I used to consume crack and cocaine. And once I left that place, these double A people, Alcoholics Anonymous, they came to me to say that, oh yeah, I needed to join them because if not, I was gonna go back to that place. I'm like, okay, yeah, I have to go to these meetings. And I realized that there were people that they weren't drinking for maybe 2 years, and they kept on telling the same old stories, repeating themselves. Hi, I'm John, and I'm an addict. Imagine that. Saying every single time you're an addict. So that's why many people that are in AA, I'm not trying to say that it's bad. It didn't work for me because I say to myself, if every day I'm saying, okay, I'm an addict, what's my body going to do? Well, yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I don't want alcohol. No. So I did something different. I start to say to myself, I don't do it anymore. I'm not that person anymore, and that worked for me. So I change it, but sometimes you change the alcohol for the group, so, and then you become addicted to the group. But well, if that works for you, I'm not judging anyone. Do whatever works for you at the end. Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you, James, for sharing that.
Thank you. Las questione. La questione. Is that how you say question in Italian, Krista?
Demanda.
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 That sounds like
That sounds like demand in Spanish.
Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, demand. Yeah, like a lawsuit.
Yes. Demand.
Yeah, in Spanish, demanda, it's like a lawsuit or demand, demandar, to ask for. Well, anyway. Okay.
Chiedere. It's ti chiedo qualcosa. I ask you. So they have for everything another word. That's why I say that Italian is an impossible language.
Well,
That question is domanda and asking is chiedere.
is what?
Chiedere.
No, I'm not so sure.
Chiedo.
Quiero.
Ti chiedo.
Te
Ti
quiero.
chiedo se tu è ok oggi. Ask
Quiero
you
tu-
if you're okay today.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Mm.
Okay.
No,
Oh, yeah.
there's everything another word. It's wall and it's no. Let's continue with the question.
Yeah.
Before we go deeper into Italian.
That's the problem with Roman-based language like Italian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Romani, because yeah, it can be so confusing even in Spanish. You can say you learn Spanish, you say, okay, I'm gonna say this word. For example, here in Mexico, if you say the word chingón, or if you say está chingón, it can means like it's bad, it's really good. It means like many things. But anyway, I'm not gonna give you Spanish lessons right now. So
And in Puerto Rico, that can mean something totally different. I'm not
Well,
going to
yeah.
say what it is, but
I can imagine, because yeah, one of those here also it's chingao. Oh yeah, it's something different. But well,
I believe that Spanish is better than Italian, and I was told that Italian is quite far away from Latin.
what? Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, okay. David mentions that being a good business person requires handling pressure by staying present. Do you agree that most of our stress in work comes from the future or the past, and almost never from the actual now? How would your productivity change if you operate strictly from the eternal now? So, do you think many of your, maybe not only work but life related stress comes from your future or your past, not from the now?
Oh, definitely. 100%. It's always, oh, I got to pay this bill. That's the future. Oh, this thing in the past, was really bad and hurt me. And, that could be legit. That could be legit, but that's in the past. And on and on. It's almost always those two. I mean, some things can happen in the now, like This is insane. This is just a funny story that popped into my head. So one time my mom was visiting and she was in my apartment making food, and I'm not kidding, guys. She literally did something where she almost set my kitchen on fire. Like the freaking, I don't know what she was trying to cook, but the stove, like, or the pan caught fire for a bit. And thankfully we put it out. Not much damage was done. But my instinct was, I mean, I didn't do it, but my instinct was like, oh, let me go get some water. And then she said, oh, well, I'm glad we didn't have to do that, because if you actually do that, like, it can actually cause that thing to explode. So, but the thing is like, well, that wouldn't have happened if you weren't here. But anyway, I didn't say that. But yeah, most of the time it is that, the past or the future. So I think that, focusing on the eternal now, even if, say, you're thinking, oh, well, I got this long assignment or I got this shift. If you focus on the now, it makes it easier. Like, time will just fly by faster. So
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you. And yeah, those Latin moments with the cooking, very rich with many things, just like Indian moms, right, Rohan?
Oh,
Many
no,
ingredients.
it's crazy. Yeah, I just wanted to add in, the eternal now is just absolute stillness. At least that's my perception of it. And so even today we learn every thought comes in time, right? So that implies that there is a future or a past. So in the present, when you're not thinking anything, how can you have any issues? Right? When you're in the eternal now. That's just my perception of the question that you asked.
Yes, all right. Thank you.
Iffy.
But you do have to think again and again. You have to think. But of course, it's what you think. For example, I will make dinner after this. So this is okay. This doesn't make me pain.
But
And
my point is that, sorry, go on. Yeah, continue.
yeah, but when I make dinner and I think about something which has happened in the past, that's not all right. You should really stay with your thinking of what you do now.
What I wanted to add to that was, how you're saying you're thinking about dinner, which is in the future. That again is a thought in the future, right? It's not in the now, because in the now it's just stillness. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you are in the middle of cooking, that's okay. But when you think about things which have happened days or weeks or years back, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You should stay in the now. You should stay with the cooking.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah. When we're discussing staying in the now, does it mean we just feel happy now and forget about the past and forget about the present, the future? What does that?
You can't only be happy now.
So when you say stay in the now, what does that mean?
Oops.
Can I answer my perception to this?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
yeah.
It's not necessarily happiness. I'd say it's fullness. Because happiness again is like a spectrum, right? You can be a little bit happy, you can be really happy, but I'd say the absolute fullness and like the stillness of that present moment, like right now.
So peace.
I'd say peace, yeah, because in the moment you don't need anything right now. You're safe. You're looking at a screen. You're comfortable. You know what I mean? You may not be happy, but that's not what we're striving for. I'd say fullness is absolute presence.
Yeah, I think it was George who was mentioning, he just decided to be either at peace. And I guess this is the last question, but there's something that even came up to me, and I think this was before the pandemic. And before, the pandemic happened, there was a time where at my job, I just decided to be happy. I just decided to be at peace. And I can vividly remember the date. It was a few days before Valentine's Day. And normally, yes, I was doing visuals, for a better life. And then there was this competition where win a hamper. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not going to win. Why bother? So I didn't put any notice into it. So I normally, just my personality, talk to people who serve, at workplaces, you have coffee. And I speak to the guys who serve coffee. And he was like, oh, we're doing a competition. And I was like, no, I can't be bothered. And he was like, well, it's for charity. And I said, okay, just give me 5 tickets then. So I just forgot about it. And I was like, when are they going to draw the competition? He said tomorrow, and we'll send you an email. So it got tomorrow, and I didn't get an email. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't win it. So I remember on Valentine's Day, which was a Friday, they sent me an email, Miss Iffy, you've won the hamper. Come and get your hamper. And I just remember thinking, I didn't even visualize for this. The only thing that I've been doing that whole month was to be at peace, to be happy, to not think of anything. I never once gave that hamper a second thought. But I didn't even want to enter the competition. It was just because this guy that I speak to who serves coffee told me, Iffy, why don't you enter? It's for charity. So I guess what I just trying to say, as I mentioned to George, there must be something so powerful in just being at peace, just being happy now, because that's all I did. And the hamper was beautiful. It was a Valentine's gift. And it wasn't even what was in the hamper. There was, because I'm lactose and gluten intolerance, there was cake, there was champagne, there was biscuit. But it was that feeling. I remember carrying the hamper on the train and the looks I was getting. And then I remember going into the taxi because I couldn't take the bus. And the first thing the cab driver told me, oh my God, you must be so popular. And that feeling was just so amazing. So yeah, I just thought I'll add that. That's my,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
and that's all I did. I was at peace. I was just so content and happy at that moment. I just didn't let anything bother me. And not once did I visualize for that hamper.
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought I'll share that.
Yeah. Well, happiness is for me being at peace and being calm.
Mm,
And I didn't even think you mentioned the word content.
mm. Yeah, I was just, I didn't let anything bother me at that moment, even because, it was a volatile industry, being in banking. I just didn't let nothing bother me. I was just peace and, content that whole month or around that period. It was a beautiful hamper, I must say. I kept that up even after the champagne and the biscuits and the chocolate I've given them out. I kept that hamper for a while before, yeah, it was nice. So I thought I'll share that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
Just
welcome.
to give an answer of what you were asking from my perspective. Well, yeah, you can think about the past. Yeah, you can think about the future, because if you don't think about the future, how am I going to know that in the next coming days I'm getting my Jeep Wrangler? I have to think about the future anyway, you know? How am I going to know that I want my Italian villa? That's the future. Is not happen. It's not now. Well, yeah, it's now. Look at this. And with my bodyguard, I hire him at the end because he's so quiet, so quiet. Yeah, but he's waiting for the. He's looking for the for what was this guy's name? Hannibal to embark to Italy. So be careful, guys. I'm just making jokes that doesn't make sense.
Hannibal
But well,
is elephants, no?
Yeah.
is what?
Hannibal and his elephants.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I know Europeans know that so much. And those elephants, funny part, many of them come from Africa and from India, because India was in those days were a huge empire, and they have that was crazy. Those the Carthaginians.
Carthage.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, story. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's not bad. I think the bad thing is to, for example, I have ice. You cannot see it. So there's it was a big chunk of ice, and it's going slow, and now it's water. So I think the bad part is to be thinking about, oh my God, the past, or me, or thinking, oh my God, yeah, I want to do this, I need to do that, but not enjoying the water of my glass. I'm enjoying the water right now. So we have to enjoy the moment. Yeah, think about the past, but don't. In Spanish or in Mexico, we have this expression, no te claves. It means don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Well, claves, it's like you nail something. You don't nail yourself to the past. So yeah, with the hammers, and the nail and everything. So no te claves. And if you get stuck into those emotions, well, I think that's when you're not connecting to the eternal now. And that was pretty much it.
Mm.
That-
By the way, I'm glad that the word content was brought up because I did want to mention that word too. Yeah, I mean, happiness is a good thing, don't get me wrong, but like I said, you wanted to be peace or feel content with where you are in the present moment. And somebody asked, how do I become present? I would say my best advice is to just get your attention and just try to focus on like what's going around you. Like try to put your attention on your senses, try to put your attention on how you're feeling like right now, and be like, all right, I'm here, hear the sounds, this is temperature, just try to like get your mind back into your body, into the present, that's my advice.
Thank you. And it's even in one of Neville Goddard's lessons, he did mention, I can't remember which one, either lesson 3 or 1. And I think he said that if you can just know how much what is in you, like your higher self, is really urging to do what you want for you, you will suspend your little sight and let him do it for you. And I guess as human beings, I guess, because of my background of, my hardship from my parents, it's always trying to fix things, always trying to do stuff. And I guess from that Neville's video, what I could take is, there's something our higher self or something our subconscious really wants to do what we want. It wants to do it for us, but we just cannot suspend our little sight, as Neville says, and let him or her do it. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my friends. So it was a really wonderful call that we had today. Really wonderful one. It was long, but from my perspective, I didn't feel it. I don't know. Maybe it's my perspective. Maybe some of you are tired. They just want to hang up and everything. But I think it was a good one. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you.
Bye.
So
Thank you.
take care.
Bye.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.